We've all had days that feel chaotic, days when time slips through our fingers like sand. But here's the truth, your day doesn't control you, you control your day. Today I want to share 5 simple rules that will empower you to take control and make each day truly yours. Rule number 1, start with intention. How you begin your day matters. The moment you wake up, take a few minutes to set an intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? How do I want to feel? Whether it's clarity, productivity, or joy, setting this intention becomes your guiding light. Rule number 2, plan your priorities. A successful day starts with knowing what deserves your energy. Make a list of 3 to 5 tasks that align with your goals and values. Focus on those. Not everything is urgent, and not everything is important. When you take control of your priorities, you take control of your time. Rule number 3, guard your time. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this, your time is precious. Learn to say no to things that pull you away from your focus. Turn off distractions, block out time for deep work, and protect your mental space. The more intentional you are with your time, the more you'll achieve. Rule number 4, take breaks and recharge. Control doesn't mean working nonstop. It means knowing when to pause. Step away, take a deep breath, or go for a walk. These moments of rest rejuvenate your energy and give you clarity for the next task. Rule number 5, end with gratitude. At the end of the day, take a moment to reflect. What went well? What did you learn? Even if the day wasn't perfect, there's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude centers you, reminding you that no matter how chaotic things may seem, you have the power to shape your tomorrow. Control is not about perfection, it's about intention. It's about deciding that your time, energy, and focus are valuable. Follow these 5 rules, and you won't just take control of your day, you'll take control of your life. When the alarm clock rings in the morning, it's not just signaling the start of a new day, it's offering you a choice. That choice is how you decide to approach the hours ahead. Many of us roll out of bed and fall straight into the chaos of life. We check our phones, respond to messages, or worry about the long list of things waiting for us. But here's the secret, how you start your day shapes how the rest of it unfolds. Setting an intention in the morning isn't just a routine, it's an act of reclaiming your power. It's about telling the world, I will decide how my day goes, not the other way around. This first moment of the day, as simple as it may seem, holds incredible potential. It's your opportunity to plant a seed for success, clarity, and peace, no matter what challenges lie ahead. Starting with intention begins with presence. Before you reach for your phone or dive into your to-do list, take a deep breath. Let yourself arrive fully in the present moment. Ask yourself, what do I need today? Some mornings the answer might be energy or focus. Other days it could be patience or kindness. These intentions don't need to be complex. What matters is that they are meaningful to you. Imagine waking up and deciding, today I will be calm no matter what happens. This single thought becomes a touchstone throughout your day. When stress or distractions come, you can return to that calmness. Similarly, an intention like I will focus on one task at a time can help you combat overwhelm. But setting an intention isn't just about what you want to feel, it's about visualizing how you want your day to unfold. Picture yourself moving through your morning with focus, handling challenges with grace, and ending the day with a sense of accomplishment. Visualization is a powerful tool because it primes your brain to look for opportunities that align with your vision. Let's not forget the role of gratitude in this process. Starting your day with intention doesn't have to be about fixing something or chasing success. It can also be about recognizing what's already good in your life. Take a moment to think about 3 things you're grateful for. This simple act shifts your perspective and opens your mind to positivity. Now, some might wonder, how can a few quiet moments in the morning make such a big difference? Science has an answer. Studies show that our brains are most malleable during the first 30 minutes after waking up. This is when our minds are most open to influence, and the habits we build during this time can set the tone for our entire day. If you spend this time rushing or worrying, your brain gets wired for stress. But if you spend it setting intentions and embracing calm, you create a foundation for a more centered and productive day. Think of this as an anchor. Life can pull you in many directions: emails, deadlines, unexpected problems, but when you start with intention, you have something to hold on to. That intention grounds you. It reminds you that no matter how unpredictable the day may be, you are still in control of your response. For some, starting with intention might look like meditation or journaling. Others might prefer a morning walk reflecting on their goals and dreams. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. The key is to find what resonates with you and make it a consistent practice. And here's the best part: setting an intention doesn't take long. It's a small investment of time with a massive return. Even 2 minutes spent in stillness and thought can transform your day. It's not about perfection. Some days your mind may wander, and that's okay. What matters is showing up for yourself and reminding yourself of what truly matters. Every morning is a new beginning. It's a chance to step into your power and decide how you want to show up in the world. When you set an intention, you're not just shaping your day, you're shaping your life. So tomorrow morning, as the sun rises and a new day begins, take that moment, breathe, reflect, decide, and step forward with clarity and purpose. The day belongs to you, and you have everything you need to make it extraordinary. In a world that demands more of us each day, we often feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of things we think we need to accomplish. From meetings to emails, errands to projects, the list never seems to end. But here's the truth: we all have the same 24 hours in a day. The secret to mastering your time lies not in trying to do everything, but in focusing on what matters most. This is where the power of planning your priorities comes into play. When you plan your day, you create a roadmap for yourself, a map that guides you toward what you value most and away from distractions that can waste your precious time. Prioritizing is more than simply creating a to-do list. It's about making conscious choices and decisions about where your energy, attention, and effort should go. It's about deciding what truly moves the needle in your life and aligning your actions with your values. To begin, ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? We all have goals, whether personal or professional. The key to productivity is understanding which goals are the most important for that particular day. Sometimes we get so caught up in the small tasks, checking emails, running errands, answering calls, that we forget to focus on the larger, more impactful goals. These small tasks are often important, but they shouldn't be the ones that consume the majority of your time. Instead, take a moment to identify the 1 or 2 tasks that, if completed, would make the biggest difference in your life. What will help you move closer to your long-term vision? What needs your undivided attention? By deciding on your priorities first, you ensure that these tasks are the ones you tackle during your most productive hours. It's not just about identifying tasks, it's about understanding their significance. This is where the concept of essentialism comes in. Ask yourself, is this task essential? Does it bring me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, then it's time to let go or delegate. Many of us spend time on things that aren't aligned with our true priorities, and while they might seem urgent in the moment, they don't serve us in the long run. This is why it's so important to evaluate each task through the lens of your core values and objectives. Once you've identified your priorities, break them down into actionable steps. A large goal can feel overwhelming if you don't break it down into smaller, manageable tasks. Whether it's a big project at work, a personal development goal, or even something like planning a vacation, the key is to take it one step at a time. Instead of focusing on the entire picture, focus on the next action you need to take. This approach not only keeps you on track, but it also prevents you from feeling overwhelmed by the bigger picture. When you plan your priorities, you also build in time for flexibility. Life happens, emergencies arise, unexpected opportunities come up, or things don't go as planned. This is where the power of scheduling comes in. Don't just make a mental note of your priorities, write them down and block out time in your calendar for each one. By scheduling your priorities, you ensure that they don't get lost in the shuffle of daily distractions. And if something unexpected does come up, you can adjust your plan while still maintaining focus on what matters most. A critical part of planning your priorities is learning to say no. For many of us, saying no can be difficult. We want to please others or avoid disappointing them. But when we say yes to things that don't align with our priorities, we say no to our own goals. Learning to say no is a powerful act of self-respect. It allows you to protect your time, your energy, and your focus. It's a way of setting boundaries that safeguard what's truly important. The process of prioritizing also involves reflection. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished. Did you complete your top priorities? If not, why? Understanding what worked and what didn't helps you refine your approach moving forward. Reflecting on your day gives you the insight to make better decisions tomorrow, ensuring that your priorities continue to align with your values. Mastering your priorities is one of the most important steps you can take in controlling your day. It allows you to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. When you prioritize effectively, you not only get more done, you get the right things done. And by consistently making time for what matters most, you'll create a life that aligns with your deepest desires and goals. Remember, you have the power to decide how your day unfolds. It starts with choosing where to focus your attention and energy. By planning your priorities, you create the space to achieve what truly matters and to live each day with purpose. We live in a world full of distractions. Everywhere we look, there's something vying for our attention: notifications from our phones, people asking for our time, and a never-ending list of tasks that demand to be completed. If we're not careful, we can find ourselves living in a state of constant reaction, moving from one distraction to the next, never fully focused on what we actually need to accomplish. This is why guarding your time is one of the most important things you can do to take control of your day and ultimately your life. Guarding your time means protecting your most valuable resource. Time is something we can never get back, and once it's gone forever. This makes it essential to be intentional about how we spend it. When we guard our time, we create space for what matters most, whether that's pursuing our goals, investing in our personal growth, or spending quality time with loved ones. But how do we guard our time in a world that demands so much of us? The first step is to get clear about what you want to achieve. When you have a clear vision of your goals and priorities, it becomes much easier to decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Without that clarity, we tend to react to everything that comes our way, often giving our time to things that don't serve us in the long run. Start by assessing your day. What are the time wasters that consume your hours? Perhaps it's mindlessly scrolling through social media or getting caught up in conversations that don't contribute to your growth. Maybe it's agreeing to attend meetings or events that don't align with your priorities. The key to guarding your time is being mindful of how and where you invest your energy. Learn to set boundaries. Boundaries aren't just for protecting your physical space, they're essential for protecting your time and energy as well. Saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational, it's simply a way of prioritizing what matters most. Saying no to a request that doesn't align with your goals or values is a form of self-care. It's a way of telling yourself that your time is valuable and that you are not willing to give it away indiscriminately. It's important to recognize that saying yes to something means saying no to something else. Every time you agree to take on a new responsibility or commitment, you are committing your time and energy to it. If that commitment doesn't support your goals or align with your values, then it's time to reconsider whether it's worth your time. By saying no to things that don't matter, you open up space for the things that truly make a difference in your life. One of the best ways to protect your time is to block it out. Schedule your day in advance, assigning specific blocks of time to specific tasks. This way, you're less likely to get sidetracked by distractions, and you can stay focused on the task at hand. The key to this strategy is intentionality. Each block of time should be dedicated to a priority, whether it's deep work on an important project or personal time to relax and recharge. However, blocking out time doesn't just apply to work tasks. It's equally important to schedule time for breaks, for rest, and for activities that nourish your body and mind. A well-balanced day includes time for work, but also for relaxation and self-care. By being intentional about these breaks and setting boundaries around them, you ensure that your time is well spent throughout the entire day. Another critical element of guarding your time is minimizing distractions. With the constant influx of information, it's easy to become overwhelmed by all the things calling for your attention. One powerful way to guard your time is to turn off notifications, whether on your phone, email, or other digital devices. This simple step can drastically reduce interruptions and allow you to focus on what truly matters. You can also set specific times to check emails or messages instead of constantly being available and reactive. Let's not forget the power of deep work. Cal Newport, in his book Deep Work, talks about the importance of creating periods of uninterrupted time where you can focus intensely on your most important tasks. By guarding your time and creating space for deep, focused work, you increase your productivity and ability to create high-quality results. Remember that time is a finite resource. It's essential to make choices about how you spend it, just as you would with money. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. Guarding your time means being deliberate and intentional with how you use it, and it's a practice that can transform your life. Time is the one resource that none of us can afford to waste. When you learn to guard your time, you create a life that is aligned with your values, your goals, and your priorities. You make space for the things that matter most, and in doing so, you take back control of your day and your future. One of the most important steps in taking control of your day is learning how to develop positive habits. Habits are the small, repetitive actions we take each day, and they shape the quality of our lives in ways we often overlook. The power of habits lies in their consistency. When you build positive habits, they compound over time, leading to greater results and success. On the other hand, negative habits, even if small, can slowly erode our productivity and happiness. Developing positive habits is not just about creating routines, it's about setting yourself up for success by embedding behaviors that help you achieve your goals and live a life that aligns with your values. The first step in developing positive habits is understanding that they don't happen overnight. Creating lasting change in your life takes time, effort, and patience. You can't expect to wake up one day and suddenly be productive or focused. Instead, you must actively work on building habits that will push you toward the person you want to be. This means showing up every single day, even when it feels hard, or when the results aren't immediately visible. Success is not an instant gratification process, it's the accumulation of small, consistent actions over time. Start by identifying the habits that align with your goals. What kind of person do you want to become? What do you want to accomplish? For example, if your goal is to improve your health, you may want to develop the habit of exercising every morning. If you're focused on your career, you might want to form the habit of dedicating a certain number of hours each day to focused, undistracted work. Once you identify the habits that align with your values and long-term vision, you can begin to implement them into your daily routine. But it's not enough to simply know what habits you want to develop. You also need to make them easy to start. One of the reasons people struggle to develop new habits is because they make them too complex or overwhelming. Instead of committing to an hour of exercise every day, start small. Begin with 10 or 15 minutes and gradually increase the time as the habit becomes more ingrained. Instead of setting a goal to read 50 pages a day, start by reading just 10 pages. The key is to make your new habit so simple and achievable that you can't fail. Once the behavior becomes ingrained in your daily routine, you can increase the intensity or frequency. Another important element of building positive habits is consistency. It's not about doing something perfectly, it's about doing it regularly. Consistency is the key to making habits stick. Habits are formed through repetition, and the more consistently you perform an action, the more automatic it becomes. Over time, your new habit will become ingrained in your routine, and it will no longer feel like a burden or something you have to consciously think about. This is the beauty of habits. They eventually become second nature, freeing up your mental energy for other important tasks. One powerful strategy for sticking to your new habits is to anchor them to something you already do. This is called habit stacking. For instance, if you already have the habit of drinking a cup of coffee every morning, you can stack a new habit onto that, like doing 5 minutes of stretching or reading a few pages of a book. By tying a new habit to an existing one, you increase the likelihood of following through, because you're using the momentum of an established routine to help form a new one. It's also essential to track your progress. When we track our habits, we create a sense of accountability and motivation. You can use a simple habit tracker or journal to monitor your progress. Seeing your consistent efforts over time will remind you of how far you've come and give you the encouragement to keep going. You'll also be able to identify patterns, such as times when you struggle to stick to your habits, and adjust accordingly. Tracking your habits is not just about measuring success, it's about acknowledging your growth and committing to the process. Along the way, you're likely to face setbacks. That's part of the process. You may skip a workout, miss a day of reading, or fail to stick to a new routine. But instead of letting these setbacks derail you, remember that they are simply part of the journey. Success is not about perfection, it's about persistence. When you fall off track, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then get back on track. The key is to not let one mistake or one day of inconsistency define your entire journey. Positive habits are the foundation of success. They shape our daily actions and over time lead us to the results we desire. By building and nurturing positive habits, you give yourself the best chance to take control of your day and create the life you want. You don't need to rely on willpower or motivation alone. When habits are in place, they carry you forward even when motivation wanes. And by focusing on small, consistent actions every day, you'll be amazed at how much progress you can make in the long run. Positive habits are not just the key to productivity, they are the key to unlocking your potential. By committing to building the right habits, you are actively taking control of your day and shaping the life you desire.